happening.
What?
Hey! Welcome to another Ramble Radio, motherfucker!
But.
Yeah. Yes.
But.
Yep.
Also, I don't know. I got a couple insiders in the industry.
Stop it.
I overhear things. Also, video. Just from people that I've talked to
Look at
that know things.
So we're doing both.
We're doing both. According to sources that I have. According to some of my sources.
So I have well, by the way, Eddie, this is Ramble 348. Ramble Radio 348. And you think it's just you and I.
Okay.
It is. It looks like the sexual assault case against Jerry Jones is moving forward.
Oh.
So he's got that.
He's just on all fronts with Cody. On all fronts.
Trump's trying to get that Georgia case moved to federal. Cody's got a lot on his plate.
So much.
It's got a lot. My God.
And that's not even the personal stuff with him and Magic the Gathering. There's just
what's going to happen between them? I mean, do we even ask? Or is that too sore of a subject?
Do we
even?
Busy man. It's a busy man.
Do you think Sarah Huckabee Sanders is still dropping loads on him while he's down there? Is that?
I mean, whenever he gets over to where Alabama, wherever she's at,
Arkansas.
I think. That's right. Maybe.
He's just a turd. What do you care?
Just a turd.
It's just a turd. Why don't you keep licking?
I'll get some underage kids in here to lick. They don't mind. They don't mind. Child labor laws don't mean nothing.
Child labor, I don't care.
I don't care.
So I have a life update. First off, I have some bad news. News.
Well, okay. Let's start off low, and then we're going to end on a high note, let's hope.
We promised ourselves we weren't going to do this week.
Yeah.
But these fucking people. We somehow have dropped from 138 5-star to 137. I don't know, man. These fucking people.
It's only us, man. It's only the Ramble. No, I don't think any other podcast loses 5-star
reviews. Not and you know, I had the gumption to consider calling ourselves the world's podcast before we started.
Right.
Now I think we are, but these fucking people sure want to hold us back, don't they?
130. How do we lose one?
I don't know. By the way, holy shit.
What?
Wow. Scientologist down. Danny Masterson, 30 years to life for rape.
Get all rapey, it's going to happen.
Is this the first big Scientologist to go down? Like this? Is he gonna start fucking? Is he gonna write a fucking book in that fucking prison? Is he gonna write a book in that fucking prison?
Is that the first domino to fall?
Man,
I mean, he's the first prominent one to have the church fully back him and then go down like this, right?
And then he's down like this is
because he had the church behind him this whole time, right?
Yeah. Now is this another fucking thing Cody has to worry about?
Let's hope Cody just says, you know what, enough's enough. I got to draw some boundaries here. I can't fight all these battles.
I can't fight everything shitty. I can't help every shitty person or institution. I just can't. Man, wow. I mean, this is already broken.
Yeah.
But if this were a live podcast,
oh, dude,
the news we would break. The stories you heard it here first.
We'd have more than 137 5-star reviews.
Right. So I had a life. So I had something happen. So yesterday, as of the taping of this glorious podcast,
the world's
podcast. Life update. My fiance, Andrea, as the day of our taping, now, by the time you hear this, it would have already happened, but this is her birthday. Today is Andrea's birthday. and I had family sending me happy birthday, Andre, thinking I was just right there next to her. And hey, look, my Aunt Laura says happy birthday. And I was trying to tell them, hey, look, no, it ain't. I'm in Vegas and I'm not near her. And then, because one of my fucking cousins has a Droid phone on this group family chat.
Oh, the green thing, or the green shit.
That fucking sorry-ass green shit. I couldn't, it said text, message not able to send. And then so I tried texting another one of my loser friends who doesn't have an iPhone, right? And I just, these fucking people. That's a whole nother, these fucking people.
Yeah, fucking green text.
These green motherfuckers. I tried sending, and another error. And I was like, what's going on? Yeah. So then, now, here's a feather in the hat for the droid folk. I was having some bullshit with my iPhone like a month ago where it kept saying no SIM available. And I would have no service. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Sure.
So I went into an AT&T store. And I went in, and the guy goes, oh, yeah, we're moving everything over to eSIM now. That's going to be the future. It's like digital SIM cards. And you have a newer, like, I don't have a newer one because your iPhone, I think, was like the first one to make the cut. And we can give you a digital SIM. So he did that. And then it started working. But then I started getting these problems where I couldn't text non-iPhone users.
Droid people.
Those
people.
Those fucking people. And then so I kept trying, and then I was on an hour phone call with tech support. They were able to fix it in the settings, and it worked. And then like 3 days later, now we're like 2.5 weeks ago. 3 days later, just still not working. And so I would have to turn my phone on and off, and then it would work.
Right.
Today, Eddie, I had enough. Had enough.
You had enough.
I was like, and I turned it on and off again.
Mad as the wind. Mad as the wind.
And hopping.
Wow.
I mean, and both.
Wow.
And so I call the AT&T tech. Guess what I found out?
What?
The numbnuts who gave me the digital eSIM card.
Sure.
Kind of sort of forgot to get rid of the actual physical SIM card that was still in the phone.
So you had two SIM cards going back and forth battling each other?
Just battling each other. And then the guy I talked to today was like, yeah, now, he goes, if you want to keep that SIM card, we can assign another line to it if you'd like. And you could have two lines on the same phone.
Oh, for your side piece.
And I'm like, who's stupid enough to do? Okay, the only time you get a fake phone is for your side piece, which I don't have, thank God. But why would you do that? Why
would you do that on your actual phone?
Why would you have it on Linda? Why? Who would keep the same phone to do shady shit? Why would you keep the same fucking phone? Is anyone dumb? I could send dick pics. Just switch it over to my business line. Like, what? It's the same fucking phone.
Yeah, sure. Look at my phone. Just don't look at the business line. Just look at the regular line.
Don't scroll on the business texts, please. Don't scroll on all the business photos.
That's all business. You wouldn't understand. It's just business talk.
You wouldn't get it. It's just... What fucking idiot has a burner account on the same phone? I don't know. I was stunned that was like, why would you? How is this helping anybody? That
makes no sense in any world.
I think the only world that makes sense in it if you're like successfully own your own business, right?
And you legitimately needed a business line, I guess.
Yes, and just like but I mean, it's still going to the same place. Yeah. So who gives a shit? I don't.
And don't take this personally. Yeah. If I saw you come to the store, I'm not going, oh my God, this is Joe Business, and he needs two lines on his phone.
I need two lines. As I walk in,
you don't put off that vibe
with my Castlevania 2 shirt.
You don't put off that vibe. Don't take
offense
to that.
As I walk in
but you don't...
with a Castlevania 2 shirt and a Spider-Man hat. Thank you. Oh, just not. It's a very important person. Why? Hey, you call him sir. You understand me when this guy walks in? So, Oh man. So
Sure,
yeah, it's been a
sure.
lot of. It's been a heavy day of these fucking people.
These fucking people from all sides.
Now,
Really.
yeah, here's it. Now, did you? This wasn't as tempting for you because it was kind of a dead zone when you were here in Vegas
Yeah.
last. But
Yeah.
Eddie, Saturday, since my heart's not in any of it, do I go drop $20 on a college football game at the sports
You
book?
might. Yeah. Maybe.
Do I go
maybe.
drop 20? Do I drop? Here's what I was thinking. We're going to do gambling 101 talk here for someone who's
Okay.
never gambled and I know nothing about it. My first thought was, and look, let me just say this. I'm pulling for Coach Prime. I want to see Dion win and be successful over there in Colorado.
Sure.
But
sure.
part of me thought, ooh, what if Nebraska catches him? Right? What if it's like a trap game? Because a lot of these kids might be thinking, fuck, we're ranked, we're ready. You know what I mean? And they might be overlooked because USC's a few weeks away.
Well, it's
right?
one thing for Prime to get those kids piped up to be the underdog and win that way, but then to win when you're like kind of expected to win
when you're
is a whole
supposed to,
different thing.
right?
Yeah.
And you also wonder if that team, and I think he's a good enough coach to have it not happen, but dude, if they are both undefeated by week 4 or week 5, whenever they play USC, because USC's what, top 6? If they're both undefeated when they play USC, is that not maybe one of the most highest rated college football games we'll ever see?
It is, but I also think USC smacks the shit out of Colorado.
They might, they probably because they have
they do.
such a team right now.
They have a quarterback that could be a starter on any pro team right now, I think.
Today.
Yeah.
And so it's
yeah.
but like that's good. But so part of me is thinking, do I put money on Nebraska, right?
Throw 10 on
line,
Nebraska.
But the line is only 3.5. So I'm like, So what I did instead, I'm thinking now, is maybe Texas, Alabama. They're both ranked high. Alabama much higher, but they're like 11 point favorites, Alabama.
Whew.
So I'm like, well, Texas doesn't suck.
No.
They could get stomped. Alabama that's the thing that Saban does, right? Him and Belichick are so good at when you're feeling good about yourself, you make one trip to their house
And they 50 on you. Yeah.
So, but I'm wondering, drop 20. I don't know. It's
Maybe.
just
I think you should.
Would it be easier if there was like a WWE event happening this weekend and I could maybe just put
Maybe. Or just be a chode and go start betting on UFC stuff, I guess.
Oh god.
Just start betting on mixed martial arts. Be one of those guys.
Oh man, what is more insufferable? All the nerds who played Madden and now act like they know every playbook on every every pro team.
They're football experts.
Or all the guys who got into MMA and now act like they're just Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belts. They just throw all the terminology like, oh fuck.
I work out the UFC gym. Okay. All right.
Okay, all right.
Punk was a huge UFC guy too, and you saw what happened to him.
Oh, he knew everything.
And that dude could legitimately probably kick your ass.
Any guy off the street, give me CM Punk.
Yeah.
In just a regular, but
Fight.
yes, but someone.
You saw him go against the UFC dude.
You saw him go against a guy who was probably training to be a UFC fighter since he was 12.
Yeah.
And you see, and then even that guy hasn't done much in the sport. Like,
no, but that guy's dad was taking fucking Pepsi bottles and rubbing them up and down his shins his whole life. You know? Like taking bamboo, reeds of bamboo and just smacking them in the back of the legs. Toughening them up. I mean, crazy shit.
Right. And it's just weird how, like, the casual, the fans of those sports just think they're fucking...
Yeah.
Like they just think that it's so weird. It's so weird. I remember years ago, before the UFC got big enough that they moved to the larger venue here, the T-Mobile, but they used to be at the MGM Garden, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd be walking to the club, walking after an event, and like half the dudes there were just like, Like, what? Are you ready? You what do you go? You want to? Do you want to get arrested? Is that what you're like? You what? You saw two guys fight, so now you want to go get arrested by having an unsanctioned fight in the middle of a fucking casino? You fucking moron! It's like what? How many parents didn't believe in you? You know what I mean? How
other people's parents stop believing in you.
Your friends' parents were like, "Can this guy not come around anymore?" Like, how many parents didn't believe in you that you think you're an expert now on combat sports? Like, fuck me.
That's the problem. It's like every time there's one of those events, it's like a testosterone bomb goes off.
Yes.
And it just infects the entire audience. And they walk out of there like they all think.
It's like
It's like when I was like 7 years old and I saw Superman in a theater and I'm walking out of the theater and I'm hearing the John Williams score and I feel like I could fly.
I could fly, right?
I feel like Superman.
It's
but
weird.
I'm 7.
But UFC fans, most UFC fans, they're like the Eddie Murphy joke about Rocky III. How like any white guy sees a Rocky movie and thinks they can take on a black dude. Like they get that confidence. Remember that the guy like, you see what he did? You see what he did to that guy? Just the guy. It's so fucking anyway. Now we have even more. There's more attacks on this brass, isn't there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dare I say it?
Huh.
Ahsoka finally got good.
It delivered on this one.
It took. Here's the problem. You should not need 4 episodes to get to the with Ahsoka, who is she is. I think she'd be a top 5 all-time Star Wars character leading into this show.
Probably.
So it's a
you
bummer.
can make that argument.
It's a bummer that with her, shit doesn't pick up. With her own show, shit takes 3 episodes. You have to get 3 episodes of bullshit out of the way. And it's like you told me, you called it best. What did you say about those first 3 episodes?
I said you could have summed up. You could have made episode 4 episode 1 and summed up episodes 1 through 3 in the opening scroll.
That's it. There it is. Ba, 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 ba. And then Ahsoka has taken on Sabine Wren as an apprentice. Hera is doing her best to, all right. And Baylan.
Serious Fallen Jedi shows up and has a map to Thrawn. And just like all that in the opening scroll. And then like, okay, now we're in.
And then you see that first episode and you're like, that 4th episode, that was the first one, motherfucker. I mean, Baylan he might be one of my favorite Star Wars characters now.
He's a great character. Interesting.
Because
he's not pure evil. He's not Sith. He's not a Jedi. There's something in between.
To say, and the actor who passed away, may he forever rest in peace. It's such a bummer because, dude, this guy's so fucking good. I don't want to see anybody else play him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I
hope his character dies at the end of the series.
I hate to say that, right?
Yeah.
But
he's great.
Ray Stevenson, it's just to lose someone like Ray Stevenson, who's always solid in everything he does, and then it's like, and then to have him, but in a way, good for him because I don't care if Ahsoka goes back to sucking, he doesn't, he hasn't, right? And like I at least like I'm happy that he went out with a fucking grand slam of a performance. Like it is, and you think like a dark Jedi. It's so easy to just make that a Sith. Like how is that just not a Sith? But this dude with that performance, you see, I see how this is a dark.
Yeah.
Like I see how
the Night Sister's like, have faith, and he's like, faith. I lost that a long time ago.
That's all gone. Like, that's
not evil. That's not Sith.
Because the Sith have faith. The Sith have their own faith.
Yeah.
The Jedi have he doesn't. And he also seems like the kind of guy who and maybe, I don't know how this would happen, but he also seems like the kind of guy that if he was in the middle of that fight with Ahsoka, right?
Yeah.
And not that it would, but like just let's just say this is a complete hypothetical on a fiction. So how nerdy are we going here? But like, if he plays the character so well and he creates his character so well that you wonder if in the middle of that battle with him and Ahsoka, if for some reason there was a surviving Sith who wanted to get their hands on that map and showed up, he, I think, would immediately team up with Ahsoka to destroy that Sith. You know what I mean?
He has his own agenda. It's not. He's no allegiance to. I mean,
yeah.
he starts
I
off the series.
I don't think he would. I don't think he would be like, oh, okay. Well, I'll just let this guy kill her. And I think he would think no, because I don't want that motherfucker getting this map either.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If it's in the hands of the Sith, then we're just as fucked as if it were in the hands of the Jedi, is what he's thinking, right?
Well, he says, I mean, he actually says to Ahsoka, your legacy, like Anakin's, is the same. It's death and destruction.
Amazing.
And he knows who Anakin is. He knows what Anakin's legacy is.
And is that a question to be answered? Is how does he know so much about Anakin?
Yeah.
I mean, besides the fact that
say that line to Ahsoka, your legacy is the same as your master's, death and destruction.
Death and destruction.
That means he's not Sith or Jedi. He's something else.
And it's so, but then again, it just makes you wonder if dark Jedi are just Jedi who are fucking insane. Because it's like, okay, well then why do you want to help destroy everything just to rebuild it if death and destruction is so bad? You know what I mean? Like, then why are you?
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen when Thrawn shows up. You know it's going to fucking happen. So,
but he said, in order to create, you have to destroy.
Right.
He says that. So.
And then, but you would think though, someone who's anti-death and destruction would not. But he plays that. This is like.
But he just obviously feels the whole system is flawed, Sith and Jedi. That everything needs to be wiped out and then just start over.
It's fucking.
It's so. I mean, it's great. And then for Ahsoka to end up in the world between worlds, I was shocked we were going to go there because we had talked about that before the series even started. Like, are they going to go there with the world between worlds? And you see Anakin. And I was watching this interview with Dave Filoni on YouTube's, and it was interesting because I always assumed the world between worlds was some sort of time travel gimmick. It was some sort of way to pull characters in and out of different timelines, put them. And he was actually talking about the world between worlds. And this is an interesting interview with Filoni, where he says it's not time travel. It's just a place where all things happen at once. You can't. Yeah. He sets up rules for it. He says you can't pull someone out of a timeline and put them in a different timeline because it'll crumble. They have to go back to their original timeline, or that timeline will crumble. It's the way. That's the reason Ezra couldn't bring Kanan out of that timeline, because if he did, all the rebels would die.
Destroyed,
and that's why when Ahsoka leaves Ezra, she goes back in. If you remember, if you watch that episode, she goes back into her timeline, back onto that where that Sith temple is, where she supposedly died.
It's like 5 minutes after Vader left.
But she's alive. But she has to go back into that
it's
timeline.
like don't you see Vader walking out? Is she? I forgot.
Vader's gone. And then she comes back in.
She comes
but
back
like
in.
You have to go back into the gateway you came out of. So he's sort of like, he wrote the rules because this is his thing. So it's not a time travel situation. So it's interesting what's going to happen. I don't like. This is why this was such a great episode, because I'm hooked and I don't know what the next episode's going to be, and I'm now interested to see it. And
then the bigger question is, what the fuck is Anakin doing in that place? He's dead.
Right.
How the fuck is he in there? Is that what happens if you're a Force ghost? Do you just exist in that place? Like, is that where you're? It's what the fuck? I
don't know.
Here's what I'm wondering: is if it wasn't that good of a movie, but do you remember Contact with Jodie Foster?
Yeah.
When she goes and like that alien thing that meets her,
she sees the version of he becomes the version of whatever. Yeah.
And I wonder if that's it. I wonder if it's just this is what Ahsoka will be most comfortable seeing. So that's whatever that is that runs.
Well, he says, "Hey, Snips, I didn't expect to see you here this soon."
Right.
Is his
it could
line
still
to
be
her.
something to disarm her, though, like in a way to make her feel comfortable and be like, "Oh, okay, I'm safe here." And then the thing could be like, "Look, by the way, I'm not actually Anakin, but you know what I mean?" Like,
right. Unless Anakin at some point, I'm just wondering if Anakin at some point.
Did he become
the balance? He was alive during the Clone Wars, found that temple on Lothal. He's in that temple at that moment, saw Ahsoka dying and pulled her through. so she didn't die.
So it
again,
wasn't
the way
Ezra. Oh, so right. So Ezra pulled her out the first time, and now Anakin pulled her out this.
And now Anakin found
he
that
just catches her as she's free falling.
Because everything, according to the World Between Worlds, everything is happening at the same time.
Right.
All time and space is happening at the same time.
Right.
So at some point, what's going on is maybe Anakin finds that temple. He enters that temple. Because if you remember, the secret to that temple is the father, the brother, and the sister.
Right.
Which is that whole episode in Clone Wars where Anakin battled the brother.
Because the brother was the dark side, the sister was the light, and the father was the balance.
Was the balance. And I think the brother killed the father, which destroyed the balance.
Right. And now this is... But can we just say that, like, Dave Filoni... I'm sorry to just take another shot here, but with this World Between Worlds, he's just ripping off the scene in Spaceballs when they put the Spaceballs movie into the ship. And they're like, everything that we're looking at now
is happening.
This is now. Well, when will then be now? Soon.
Soon.
I mean, isn't this just the Spaceballs?
We just missed it.
Missed it.
Just now.
Just now. I mean, didn't he just rip off Spaceballs?
Well, maybe he's just building upon what Spaceballs created. Let's look at it that way.
Is that the title? I think that's Ahsoka is just building on what building on the foundation Spaceballs.
Mel Brooks discovered the World Between Worlds, and Filoni's just taking the baton and going with it.
What if yogurt's in this? How Ahsoka then becomes the greatest Star Wars thing ever if
yogurt pulls Ahsoka into the World Between Worlds. And now Spaceballs is part of Star Wars canon.
I take back everything bad I said about what Filoni's been doing, and I'm like, this is the greatest move we've ever seen in the history of anything. Oh man, well, but again, I was so almost ready to just walk away and be done with it, and now I'm like, okay, I really want to see.
They hooked me. It just took them 4 episodes to do the hook. I didn't.
But they did
like again, I didn't hate all 3 previous episodes. There was moments in them I enjoyed. There's moments in them I couldn't stand.
Right.
I got through them, but this is the first episode that hooked me.
Yep, it's fucking tremendous, man. And we hope this episode has hooked you if you're new to the Ramble.
Right.
And
because we are the world's podcast.
We are the world's podcast. And if you're new to the Ramble, here's the downer. Is every time we do a Ramble Radio, we have contractual obligations to.
We're trying to get out of this contract.
We really are. Don't know if it's going to happen, but here we go.
All right. Skeletor, have you ever been ready to give up on something?
Oh, yeah.
Whether it be a person, a cause, an old car, and then just at the last moment, that person or the cause or that car starts and it pulls you right back in, and now you're back on the team.
Eddie, that's a wonderful question. I'm glad that you've asked me that. You know, one time I had, if you can believe it or not, the big S was spoken for. had a girlfriend, I guess. I don't know how serious it was, but it was teetering. But every time we'd have sex, she'd always be like, "No man's ever been able to make me come." She would always say that. "No man's ever been able to make me come." And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to show you, motherfucker." And she wouldn't. I was like, and I would eventually be like, "You're fucking lying. You came and you know it." And she'd be like, "Nope, didn't come." And so I was just ready to give up on it. You know, I was just ready to give up and blame myself. I go, what have I done wrong? But instead, I set her aflame with a spell. Now, she's not dead. She's just constantly burning. And she'll never die. She'll just be cut up like, yeah, ooh, good luck having anyone making you come now, huh? You know? Should have just let the big S do it. But now she's just constantly burning. It's funny, there's posters of her all over Eternia. Have you seen me? It's been 25 years, all this shit. They'll never find her, Eddie, because, I mean, she's tucked away in a place where smoke doesn't even get leave. And that's He-Man's mother's pussy, because it's so big. You get it?
Yeah, got it.
Because it's so big, it's so high, the smoke just goes up, and it doesn't even leave her pussy hole. It just stays. So there's no way anyone's going to find this lying twat.
Okay, there we go. All right. Do we?
Yeah.
How does Send us not
I know.
Cody.
Yeah.
Please. Jesus Christ. We got to get the LaQuisha stuff righted. You know, those wrongs and all that.
She was probably a lesbian. You know what I mean? Come on.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go. It's just nothing's his fault, is it?
Nope.
Nothing. Maybe it's just you just weren't adequate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Anyway, Eddie, where can all the fine folk?
You can find me at the Ralph Report 5 days a week.
There it is.
Tuesdays, Fridays, Ramble Radio. Wednesdays, Ramble Proper.
Booyah. You can find me in the same Ramble locales. You can find Eddie and Cody. I'm also streaming on Twitch and Kick at Retro Rocha, and also on my YouTube channel simultaneously. All three of them. Tonight, last night, I started a new game because I beat Skyblazer for the Super Nintendo on Wednesday night, and that was a fucking awesome game. Tonight, I'm starting The Illusion of Gaia. There is, which, again, I wish Cody were here because I think he has, like, the map of the world of that game, like, tattooed on his nuts, right?
I believe he put it on his scrotum because the wrinkles in his scrotum sort of very closely resembled the mountain plains. That's what he told me anyway. I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, see, there we go. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week and great weekend. And here's the good news. We're going to see you next week for more rambling goodness. Yes. So you know where to find us. You know where to love us. Please do it. And until next time, have a great one, everybody.